Hi, I'm David.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Stephen.
We're very pleased today to be joined by Stephen Poster, who's the president of the International Cinematographers Guild Local 600. Thank you for being here, Stephen.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
What is the basic purpose of the Guild?
We are a trade union, plain and simple. We have cinematographers, we have camera operators, we have camera assistants, we have still photographers. We have over 7,000 members across the country. And the purpose is, as any labor union, is to protect the worker, to provide benefits for the worker, to negotiate with the companies, and which we do every 3 years to come up with our new contracts, and to basically give people a family to work within.
So you've worked on Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Blade Runner, and then as a cinematographer.
As director of photography, as second unit director of photography on Close Encounters and additional photography on Blade Runner.
And then movies like Donnie Darko with Richard Kelly.
Absolutely.
Someone to Watch Over Me with Ridley Scott.
Thank you.
Life Stinks with Mel Brooks.
Absolutely. And Mel's still a friend. But wait a minute, you forgot one of the most important ones.
I'm sure I forgot
Strange
many.
Brew.
Strange Brew. Anything in particular that really put your focus on cinematography?
I got involved with cinematography when I was 14.
Wow.
I got involved with photography when I was about 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was 14, living in the suburbs of Chicago, an old Jaguar drove up, and this guy got out, and he had a beard and a cap and smoking a pipe, and he had a light meter on his belt. And I saw that, and I ran out of the house, and I said, "Hi, my name is Steve. I live next door. What kind of light meter is that?" And he said, "Son, we'll have a lot of time to talk about that. I'm building a house next door to you."
And who was that?
Maury Bleckman was a CBS newsreel cameraman, and he owned the 16mm news lab in Chicago. The day I met him, I thought he was the coolest human being I'd ever met, and I said, "I want to be him." And of course, I smoked a pipe, I had a beard, I did everything I could to be him.
What would be the advice you would give to someone just starting out in the business as a cinematographer?
It's a crowded market. Everybody wants to do it. Everybody thinks they can do it because you get a digital camera and you push the button and you can make images, even on your cell phone. What you need to do is you need to persevere. You need to shoot anything that moves and get involved with everything that you can, every free production, work in the crew, work your way up, create a community. And I would say this not only to cinematographers, I'd say this to anybody wanting to get into the film business.
Say yes.
Say yes to all of it, and do what you can to keep your momentum up and create that community so that people start calling you to do the job.
With digital imaging, digital capture, how will cinematographers adapt to retain control of the image?
We're trying to simplify that process, and part of it has to do with the technologies that are developing. Technologies are simplifying all the time, and we find that the work that was done by the front-end post houses and laboratories now can be done right on the set at a great savings. We're actually gaining more control as cinematographers, as gatekeepers of the quality of the image, because now we can do our coloring on the set. Before dailies go out to anybody. So they're getting the intent of the director of photography. The technology has gotten so good that we are able to do the coloring, create the dailies, and protect the image. Technology has changed to the point where this simple workflow that we had for over 100 years doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
and we had to take control as cinematographers and develop our own techniques and technologies and best protocols.
How difficult a process is it to get into the union?
It's much easier than most people think, and we're very welcoming. I talk to young workers all the time about how to get in, and in fact, our staff counsels people on how to do that. Mathematically, it's simple. You need to get 100 days within 3 years in your category or in classification, non-union, or 30 days union, which can happen if a show gets organized. So if a non-union show gets organized and there's 30 days of work within that, you're a member.
How would you best describe the role that you play on a film or on a TV show?
We are the guardians of the image, as I said before, and our role is kind of as the set magicians. We work with the director, work with the script to tell the story visually. We interpret the story visually. We also create the way the images are brought to the medium that you're shooting on and then controlled through the process of getting it to the editorial room.
So what's next for you and what's next for the Guild?
The most important thing for the Guild right now is to make sure that our members are the best at what they do. We have a very aggressive training program. We have the most aggressive training program in the industry. We train them to understand what the new technologies are, how to work with them, and how to best protect the image.
Well, on behalf of the cast and crew of Just Seen It, I'd like to thank you for joining us here today. It's been very illuminating. And as we like to finish, cheers.
Cheers.
As I say, l'chaim.
L'chaim.
It's a little like herding cats, but
yeah.
The reality is, yeah, come on, come on.